Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Allison, and from the ancient Wind Palace, I'd like to welcome you back to more Cairn, featuring obscene, excessive amounts of strong infusion to our name that we have absolutely no reason to be hoarding at the moment. But without spoiling too much, we are going to be finding a number of upgrades that are going to render this specific jug of drink quite obsolete, as well as the fact that we are going to be forced to consume all of our liquids in our bag. So we'll definitely be making some use out of this. But in between recording sessions, I went and picked up that thistle that we saw on the cliffside, and I also scoped out a path for us to ascend. So long as we're guided by the wind and we follow it in the ways that it deems fit, we will be able to make our way clear up there. But last time, we explored everything down here, and to be honest, there wasn't really much there for us aside from some lore implications, as well as a lot of gusts of wind. And then we also explored this crevice a little bit and found our third pearly edelweiss. And so I think for the most part, we're done here, and it's time to continue the climb. But unfortunately, even though we could go along the outside to make our way up, if you decide to go inside, there are going to be some waterfalls you have to contend with. So I think we are going to make the most out of our chalk. And if I move this in just the right way, there we go. Now, it's going to sound a little counterintuitive, but we are going to lose respect for this thermos shortly. So I'm going to go and use that, just so that we can start making some room in our inventory. And that way we can also cross the waterfalls without too much sudden movements, because you can just slip directly off of it, and it's pretty terrifying. So we're just going to take this kind of slowly, make sure we find a good spot for leverage. And here, how about this? So we'll do that. Maybe I'll take a quick drink as a show of solidarity, and then we just lean on over, make the transfer, and we do not dawdle, because that, my friends, is how we win. There we go. So, yeah, for the most part, I wouldn't say that this is the most challenging climb, but the interior of this place is just so vast, and there are a lot of opportunities for us to go sideways and down and under and over, and it's just, you have so much variety in climbing styles and ways to go that I decided to get this spiel out of the way early in the video, just to, you know, front load it when we inevitably find those places. I wouldn't be surprised if there were still even a few aspects of this area that are completely new to me. But for the most part, I feel like we are in a good position to move on and hopefully start making our way towards one of the most difficult climbs in the game, in my opinion. Which, you know, means it's probably going to be one of the best ones. But, this actually doesn't look great. Oh yeah, there's definitely some spots up there that would be a bit safer to climb up on. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So fortunately, it seems as though we're not super affected by the weather outside. Not even the wind really seems to be doing much for us here, which, you know, doesn't bother me. But there's not too many places for us to take a break here.
Right.
So I will be using my side flask. This should be all right. There might actually be a landing somewhere nearby. We'll see once we kind of feel ourselves petering out a bit. We might be all right. But yeah, this is actually pretty doable, so long as you just take it one leg at a time. And then we deal with the waterfall. So long as we have a good place to rest our weary bones, and also set our feet down. Let's do it one more time. So actually, I don't know if I can grab onto this. That might not be the most helpful, actually. It's probably too slippery. Oh god. Can I grab it? Maybe not. Okay. That was very sketchy. Not entirely sure how I felt about that, but we made it. And, you know, we might actually be able to make it to the top before we run out of grit, which would be nice. Lots of opportunity to find food in this area. I think even a couple of recipes. But we're not going to have any shortage of, places to climb. No, actually. I might keep going along the bottom side of this. I don't think we necessarily need to go onto that staircase there. There's no hidden treasures to be found. Doesn't seem like they really want us to go in that direction. Nothing cool behind the waterfall, I think. But yeah, all we gotta do is make it up there and we'll be fine. Alright, well, I might have slightly overestimated just how far we had to go, but that's alright. What else is new? Oh, you know, this might not have been a great place. Should have been a little bit lower. We're fine. Don't gotta worry about it. So, unfortunately, like I said, we are gonna lose our thermos soon, and I would like as much space in my inventory as we can have, which I say full well knowing I'm still gonna be carrying the jerry can of drink in here for as long as humanly possible. But it'll be worth it and a good trade. And it served us well for 2 drinks, you know, that we still haven't taken since we made that ultimate infusion. But again, it's just one of those things where you just have to weigh the pros and cons, and it also ultimately comes down to player preference, really. I'm just gonna keep going this way. Looks like I can do that quite safely. Not worry about the landing. Don't really need to, you know, regain our stamina there. Oop, all right. That's how body parts work. Surely. I've seen the substance. I know how that works. Ugh. And we can just keep on clamoring. I do think it's probably in your best interest to also just like go as quickly as possible instead of spending so much time considering your many options. So we're gonna be quick about this, because I'm running out of stuff here. Put through here. Oh boy. That should hopefully work. Ooh. See, the thing about the waterfalls is that they sometimes will just drop you if you're not, you know, buffed up like I am. But look at that. Perfect timing. And we made it. With just one massive crystal in the center here. I don't know if there's anything else to grab. I don't quite remember. Let's run over here and see if there was even anything worth collecting. Really? Is that it? I could have sworn that there might have been like a secret area for us, but we already saw this little section in the last episode. This is the first doorway you walk into when you encounter this place. So if you want to do some slight backtracking, then by all means, feel free to do so. But yeah, I don't think it's entirely necessary. This is the way we already took to go down. You can see where I went back for that cliffside thistle, which is always fun. In between recording sessions, I should add, I went and climbed up here on my Alpine playthrough, and there was nothing here. There was just the nest and a very angry bird who did bum rush me for good reason. I thought there would have been something cool, because there's a tree for the head of this monument, and I guess technically it fell right here, but it's still kind of disappointing there was nothing there, unless I completely missed it, which is very possible. I think you guys have seen that. But I think now is probably as good a time as any to just skedaddle on by, keep making our way up. We did leave some, I think it was nettle behind up here, so we can use that to finish our ultimate infusion, the only one we will make in this massive jug. But, oh, it's more thistle. Nice. Something I found that you could do is just like move this ever so slightly so that you can make way for something else. It doesn't make any sense how this game dictates inventory space, but you can kind of, I don't know, cheap it out that way. Now, we already took a look at this and we examined this burial ground. We noticed there was a climber here who has a pickaxe just driven straight through his heart. And there's a snake on this picture here. I wonder, is anything going to come of that? Because we very well may see. Another spot to bivouac, perhaps. But I think we're essentially done. There's not much else for us to grab here. There's the cooling pot for mashed potatoes. And I think I'm pretty much set. I should have been making some more stuff for my compost. So maybe I can throw this in there if I even have space. Yeah. I mean, it's already partially chalk, you know, I can just take it out of the packaging and rub it all over my hands. But sure, you know, let's actually go and make that ultimate infusion right now. This is the last time we'll be using this bivouac spot, disrespecting the dead, as it were. And we should be doing just fine here. So a lot of this area, you truly can just bypass and not worry too much about. Some of the goods that you get here are not necessary, but I would definitely recommend checking it out. And you'll see, I say that for everything, but particularly here, you'll find one of the best passive upgrades you could get in this game. And you can also find yourself at odds with climbing the exterior of this place. Probably one of the more fun climbs that you can do just because of the architecture of this place. And there's two different areas we could go. We could either head up here to the left, which I think might be slightly trickier. Or you could head over here to the right, which is, I think, going to be a little bit easier for us. But I don't think we have that much to worry about, barring any major cosmic events or sudden changes in atmospheric pressure. No, this should be fairly straightforward, and as you can see, climbing along the exterior of this structure is kind of a unique experience. Mostly because you don't see too many buildings like this that have been ravaged by Mother Nature and weather over the decades after having been built. And so long as you are not a bumbling dum-dum like I am, traversing this area should be fairly straightforward, and there are so many different ways to do it. So we're going to be exploring some new territory here, and otherwise just putting a lot of faith into these lovely handholds and such. Almost to the point where I feel like maybe this was not the wisest idea. Oh, Abba, please. I'm begging you. Not like this. Okay. Much better, I suppose. But I'm not going to worry too much about my ultimate infusion. We have plenty of it, and I still want to show off that I am able to play this without constantly being, you know, babied by the best buffs. But, we do want to be careful because I feel like I remember there being a few birds and you can sort of see them flying around, absolutely getting ready to charge at us, which is kind of funny, but just not when I'm in the middle of a death-defying climb, if you don't mind. Another thing that is kind of odd about this particular area, as much as I do love it, is sometimes you just end up anchoring yourself on the wall when you're really just aiming for a ledge, and I think it's like one of these sides where it's particularly apparent, where it's more smooth than it appears, so you just end up latching onto corners and such in places you don't want to. So we'll take this slightly slow, one foot after the other, and I feel like we probably could climb up these, but I'm just gonna go over to this wall. I do like a nice, safe little side wall to fall back on. If all else fails, oh Abba, please. Thank you. Oh man. Now, don't get me wrong, as excited as I am for the DLC, I almost have a sneaking suspicion we're not going to be finding any sorts of buildings like this, which is kind of a shame because I do love the aesthetic. And I would love to see different types of architectures explored, but you know, I could very well be wrong. So just looking at this, we have a bivouac spot clear over here on the left, and also, yeah, that might actually be the only thing there that we need to go out of our way for, aside from, you know, a secret cave. But there was a note on the wall, and we are going to want to grab that. But first, we have a lot of stuff to get to inside. We have barely scratched the surface, so to speak, and I'm not entirely mad about it. There you go. We'll just body horror our way over here. Oh no, there it is. Oh my god, please don't get me. I'm begging you. I've been doing a lot of that this episode, but if this thing charges at us, as funny as it is, it would probably cause us to die, and I would not appreciate that. Climbot. I know we're not really in the business of disturbing nature and, you know, the animals we share this incredible planet with, but you could at least protect me from a charging bird. I would appreciate it. You see how sometimes these plants of your phalanges and your limbs They just don't seem to really make sense. But that's okay, because sure, we'll do this. Why not? There we go. I saw the substance once. I think they did that in the final act. There we go. Okay. There is no need to be freaking out like that, Ava. We're almost there. But, should probably thrown on some chalk. But we're fine. We're almost there. Easy money. And then all we gotta do is head in here, and we don't really have to worry about the outside for very much longer. Which I'm surprised there weren't more torrential gusts of wind trying to murder us, but no. Instead, I'm gonna get a little hungry, and finally, solid ground. Well, this is cozy. We have another place of relative safety. To the troglodytes of Cami, we hope for a great journey to the stars. May the stars guide you to the summit, and in their majesty allow you to tread immaculate snow. We the living will keep attempting the ascent, hoping to one day succeed and join you. May Cami remain Cami, and troglodytes live in her bosom for eternity. Wow. I'm just more impressed that Ava is privy in the language and vocabulary of these troglodytes. I feel like they probably don't use English the same way that we do, right? Well, unfortunately, it looks like there is no such thing as still cave water in this section, but that's okay. Because we get chocolate and a coffee packet, huh? This is a little unusual, but I suppose I will take it. Yeah, not a whole lot here, actually. Now, if we do happen to come into contact with one of these staircases leading to a blocked path, just know that we are close to something awful. And no, I'm not talking about the forum from 2006. Is there another pot? No, just more statues. More effigies, and here we go. A red rope leading up. I think I will go ahead and take that, but go and investigate over here first. We'll actually find a nice little resting spot as well as a place to drink up a little bit. Ooh. And also a map entitled Origami on Top of the World. So we have Emil, the team leader, Salal, who's first aid, Oral, who wrote the itinerary, Elsa, the troglodyte guide, and Yamina, the documentary maker. The Climbot V4 scouted the wall last night to identify the routes. The wall ahead is truly hellish. It sent out worrying distress signals, but it was impossible to pinpoint their precise location. To make matters even worse, Yamina has been missing for 3 days. They can't delay the ascent or none will survive. Emil says she swore she'd seen a lynx disappear in a beam of light recently. She was obsessed. I hope we can find her higher up. Oh, very strange. So this is a section of the wall called the Dome, and this is above Peril. And this area is a little scary, but it does not compare to this. There are so many different ways to go, and it is very intimidating. Of course, we are going to be taking the trickiest route to get a very nice upgrade. But aside from that, it doesn't look like we really have much here to our name. Nice place to rest. No other things to do about, I guess, bivouacking, which is kind of a shame. But it's from here that we could get a nice sense of the scale to expect going up. We'll probably even get a better sense once we climb up that other area, so let's go and do that. I think there is a bivouac section there, so that'll be nice. But I do remember the first time I played this and I noticed this going down. I was like, oh, this will probably lead to a nice little secret. This descent is a lot trickier than it looks, and it's kind of annoying, but that's okay. Because going up, it's actually quite simple and a lot easier to do than, you know, braving the elements on the outside. So it is kind of fun to see what different paths you can take on different playthroughs and seeing just how that differs from your first time around with the knowledge you learn climbing. And I love that aspect about this game. Even though I'm not really somebody who particularly cares much for replayability in that sense, this one just like hits that itch in just the right way. And I appreciate it even more for that. So sure, we'll do this. Just having another wall next to me makes things a little better, a little easier. But can I grab that? Kind of. With this. Oh yeah. And it's quite a short climb as well compared to the outside variant. But we go and snag onto that. And it looks like we have a backpack. Oh, backpack. And some chalk. Oh man, I really should be using my items here. Alright, uncooked rice, tea bag. I don't really need any of that. I'm sorry. But I am getting a little hungry, so maybe I'll go and take a nice little bite of chocolate for now. Because we're about to run into a very unfavorable character. One that I'm not too thrilled to be button heads with, but it must be done. And I think he's down there, so let's go and check out this room first. Because there is another place to drink, get our fair share of some lovely still cave water. Because the bodies of troglodytes should be washed, shaved, and fragranced at the start of the funeral rite. They'll also be wrapped in clean sheets if the body is too damaged. As the space for coffins in the Wind Palace is limited, it's necessary to rotate them, forcing the oldest to make way for the newest. The bones shall be crushed and scattered in fine dust to the four winds, illustrating the eternal oblivion that awaits everyone. Oh, well, that's promising. At the end of the ceremony, relatives are invited to throw the statuette of the deceased into the pit. This ensures their body returns to the mountain while their spirit rises up to the stars. So you're telling me this is where they care for the troglodyte dead, and that I just drank out of the well that they likely used to clean them? Well, you know what? Don't mind me. I'll just take another sip of that for the road and then call it good. Yeah, let's get out of here. I don't think there's much else for us. That certainly won't have any adverse effects on me. And let's go and make our way back towards that other little spot there. I might check out that bag on our return visit. But you could also continue the ascent from here and not worry much about it. There's actually some wild garlic, a plantain, and... oh boy. Don't mind me, I'll just go in there.
Oh, yeah, fine. I deserve that.
Absolutely. Oh boy. Well, if we check the map, you see a ton of extremely difficult climbs, and you'll also notice there's a broken climb bot up there. And that is going to take us to our next major, real sort of passive upgrade, but we're going to be doing that a little bit later. I just have to remember that we need to go back for this letter here, even though I don't think this bivouac is necessary. This climb is just, you can do it so many different ways, and I do favor this little section here. So we'll see how that goes. We'll make sure to pick up some of this stuff on our way back. There's underground oak. I might pick that up later. But down here, amidst the many crystals that have already been mined, we already caught a glimpse of this in the last episode, but as it turns out, we are not alone on this mountain. And out of all of the crystal cutters in all of the crystal caves, and we had to meet Patches.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, quite unexpected.
So sorry to bother you. I was exploring this fascinating place, and, well, and there you were.
And there you were. Very good joke, yes. Very good joke.
Did you build this place?
What place do you speak of?
This sanctuary?
Oh, I'm looking down at the rocks every day, all day. I'd forgotten about all this. Very beautiful. It's all very fascinating, you're right. But no, I'm not the builder of this place. It's hard to imagine. But once upon a time, people used to live in Cami. Each village kept the tradition of bringing their dead to this sanctuary so they could be closer to the summit and their souls within reach of the sky.
So, aren't you kind of profaning a cemetery by digging here?
It's true. I suppose I go wherever rocks summon me. And besides, listen here. The dead don't mind. They're not complaining. I'd say we keep each other company. They listen to my stories, and I feel a little less alone. Who else might want to hear about amphibolites, limonites, or limichells? Are you keen to the science of rocks?
Very little, I'm afraid.
You haven't come here to steal my crystals, have you?
A climber. I'm a climber. I'm just here to climb.
A strange occupation, if you ask me. Climbing won't make you rich. Now, crystal cutting, that's a solid job. One day, I'll be rich. Just need to find the right track. Emerald, go on it, and then rich. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. Can you hear them laughing? They want to see me get rich too. Let's not waste any time. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but...
What's my safest option? Leave the guy alone or give him a hand?
I don't know if I should humor you with an answer there, Ava. I believe that it should be pretty clear that we should steer clear of old Spider, the Patches, who is insane, and you can actually get something pretty decent from him. By picking up the crystal shards that he's already picked at, he will eventually give us another passive upgrade, probably among one of the worst in the entire game, I would say. But man, it's kind of distressing just how uneasy that guy makes me. And clearly he's been doing a number on this place, and you can even see, oh, there's like this couple who are holding hands in here. It's like, oh my God. What would otherwise be such a cool room has been utterly defiled by this guy. And you saw the patch of the crudely drawn spider on his chest, right? I mean, this guy is just certifiably insane. But you can only find 2 of, I believe, 4 crystal shards in here. One we already saw the first time we caught a glimpse of him working back here. Yeah, it's right here. So we'll go and bring this on over to him. And there's also a room above us that we're going to want to head off to grab our final shard. So we'll go and do that. And I think I'll go ahead and take a lovely little drink before making our way up here. So you can see it's actually right off to the top there. And yeah. So I will go ahead and take a last sip out of this. We're going to be needing some more chalk soon, so I'll go and just use that right now. And we will be composting that thermos. It has served us well, but the drink tasted a little funky, a little tinny, you know? Not usually a big fan of thermoses, but for the most part they get the job done, keep your drink warm. I don't usually drink warm drinks, you know, stuff that needs to stay warm. I mean, my coffee, you know, usually stays pretty lukewarm, but I end up sipping on it most of the day, so room temperature is kind of like my go-to, but otherwise I drink stuff remarkably fast, so I'll just try not to do that. Even though I am known for my my dragon tongue, I can just like singe my taste buds off and not be any wiser about it. But overall, yeah, this is actually not too bad of a sort of climb over here. Just make our way over here. Yeah, it took us like a minute. It's not bad. There's also some underground oak, so we will be taking a look at that. But yeah, if you want, you can just go ahead and take this, go back down, and be done with the gentleman. Which maybe I should just go ahead and do while I still have some drink on hand. We are going to have to come back up here, unfortunately. So I'm just going
to... should be enough for him to stop digging for a while.
Yeah, I just realized this is how we keep going up towards like a secret area. So we'll actually just do this. I think I could drop down from here. Let me see if I can get a bit closer. Yeah. Some of these statues do have a pretty wonky hitbox, but shouldn't worry too much about it. Nice little spot there. Oop. Yeah. And just clinch onto that. And you. Put my foot in there. Or somewhere close to it. Will this work? Will it blend? Find out next time. Oh yeah, maybe I'm not supposed to come down over this way. Be careful not to land on any crystals on the way down. Oh boy. There we go. And we jump. Oh my god. Oh, please don't tell me. Okay, it did not count as a fall. Oh. But we go ahead and give him the last of the shards, and he gives us something kind of strange.
Oh, here. Have something that could help you on your way out.
A small windmill, useful for anticipating gusts of wind. Yeah, it actually was right there in his bag, and you could sort of see it, but I think we should probably leave him to his own devices. What would, I guess, feel like a pretty sincere moment for Ava is just kind of lost on us here. So, bit of a shame. There was also, let me double check up here real quick. Because there was this, which would, yeah, not lead to anything. And I don't know that there's anything else around here. Huh. Well, alright. I think this is where I climbed up. It seems like I usually deviate towards familiar places quite often. But, yeah, this is nice. I guess I won't go back to that other room. I just feel like we're doing so well for ourselves. And the point where we have to, you know, be forced to get rid of our drinks is going to be coming up here. And I do want to make the most out of them. But that's not the upgrade I was talking about. That would be worth our time. Trust me, we are still going for that here and now. But I think it is slightly more respectful for the lore of the game that we head off and explore what this place has to offer. Kind of blew my mind the first time I came here, but would definitely be worth it, especially if you were having trouble in the end game stretch. And there's a very specific section about the game that I'm talking about, and this is an upgrade that will help probably even better than the thermos in my opinion. So it was nice for Joanna to help us out. But there we go. I don't remember if I was still hungry, but if I could jank this out in just a way. I don't know why that works. It's kind of silly that it does. Oh yeah, I was pretty hungry, wasn't I? Chocolate. Let's head on in here and find ourselves in a very prestigious area. Huh. I mean, you wouldn't think much just from looking at it. But what's interesting about the bivouac section here is you can see there's a pit with a flickering light down there to sort of draw your eye to it, to show you that there is indeed something down there that we should probably go ahead and check out. I think I'm still fine. This is gonna be kind of silly because I don't know what to drink from first. I think I should save my ultimate infusion in here just so that I can have it on my side, but it's going to literally be rendered obsolete, so I might just go and take one drink of that before making our way down. We also have this. Should I perhaps make something? I could make a chocolate drink with the last of this. Maybe I will. See if I can get some burst out of it. And then eat an egg to go along with it. Yeah, ooh, that's actually pretty good too for some focus. Huh. Alright, well, how about this? I don't know if you need to get rid of all of your drink in your side flask, by the way. I'm just going to assume that perhaps. You know, should I make it with coffee? Would coffee be better? Chocolate coffee, perhaps, from the plains of New Mexico and perhaps the Congo. Not gonna turn down a little extra zing. Neither am I. I should have maybe drank this one, because that burst would be nice. But, using the last of our drink, I will humbly accept this boiled creamy egg. Simple, effective, tasty, and full of protein. Yeah, I'll eat it maybe on my way up, because we are going to be exploring down there, and that's where you're going to get your next big thing. But here, a damaged recipe page for, ooh, the hunter's mushrooms. So again, there's a scribble of a spider on this page, and so long as you have a very intense soup and mushrooms, you can make something pretty nice, because otherwise milk, cereal, leeks, a layer of grated cheese. Nah, I'm good. I will take the hunter's mushrooms. Oh, and a list of scoundrels from the Crystal Cutters Guild who have stolen crystals from me or intend to do so. Viper, who was exterminated while looting a tomb. Good riddance. You should never disturb the dead unless they have really, really nice crystals. Salamander, who kindly offered to share a vein. Surely a deceit. I killed him, just in case. Pipistrelle entered my quarters, arms wide open and smiling, clearly a thief. Thrown into the pit. As for the cave spider, that's most likely me. I'm most likely the last one. So far, I mean myself no harm. Most likely. Found a geo today. Beautiful pearly quartz. Amazing. Resplendent. No market value. I threw it away. And that picture looks oddly familiar. Found a rock crystal. I love rock crystals. I hate them. Milky hue, yuck. Shiny but imperfect. Someday I'll be rich, but not because of them. Drawing of me when I'm rich. Some people will want to steal from me, and I'll have to kill them, but I'm ready for that. Lots of obsidian on the rock faces, too hard, impossible to pickaxe. Although today, I found a black obsidian. Luck is on my side. What a bummer. These are certainly the innate ramblings of a madman, and you can see that all of these other creatures have been eliminated, so to speak. Not very fun. But what is the fun part is this incredible descent, which is going to take us into a very scary place. I should have maybe used some chalk here, but yeah, we might be all right. I don't mind just, raw dogging it every now and then. But we will just in case, because that might be a bit of a fall for us. That's all right. As long as we don't do anything silly, I think we'll be fine. But, yeah. I hope you guys have been enjoying the series, by the way. I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping lately, but editing these videos have actually helped me in kind of like falling asleep, weirdly enough. And it's weird how I'm able to sort of discern my content away from myself, because I know a lot of people get very weird when they hear themselves on video or in commentary or stuff like that. And if you're somebody who doesn't or hasn't listened to themselves like over the course of 16 years like I have, it does feel a little strange, but I feel unusual in the sense that I can just dissociate myself from that and just enjoy like whatever it is I'm editing. It doesn't feel like something that I've done or that I do, but it's fun, and it definitely helps me fall asleep, which is nice, because lately Yuzu has been on a freaking tear in waking me up. Hopefully you cannot hear her snoozing in the background, because she does like to snore like a grown-ass man, and I've said it before, but I get kind of nervous anytime she scares herself. Yeah, actually, I might go this way. Because she'll just start, like, barking like she's scared. It's just like, no, you're all right. It's okay. Then I'm not able to fall back asleep because my body, it just goes into, like, this hyperactive, anxious state whenever I'm woken up. And I know it's, like, I'm not in danger eminently. But, man, we had a warning, like I think it was a flood warning at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it like woke all of us up because it was a new alert on our phones, and I have them all disabled, and it just like scared the shit out of me, honestly. And I was like really annoyed, as were so many other people, because it's like, God, nobody's driving around at 2 in the morning that's gonna care about this. And Yuzu slept right through it, but I was like wide awake afterwards.
Here I was hoping I'd find water at the bottom of the well.
Yeah, maybe don't want to be drinking the old, still cave water that we just find. Especially the stuff that we'll find over here as well. This is actually not too terrible of a climb, in my opinion. It's pretty fun. Oh, gotta watch my legs here. Thank you. Yeah, we're just about there. We should be fine. Slightly worrying about some of our stuff here, but that's fine. Ooh. And we are set. Although, Oh, a pickaxe, huh? Alright. Well, just carefully just straddle that real quick. And we find ourselves in a pit with a dead body. The spider accused me of stealing his crystals. He's gone crazy. All my crystals are accounted for, and I'll make him regret this slanderous act. Get it? Because I'm the salamander. And now I'm dead. In his backpack, he's got, banana min, some milk. We'll take all of that. That is a fresh body, brother. Although,
Rest in peace, fellow climber.
with the glasses, and more importantly, is the flask. The big flask. A bit cumbersome, but better than passing out. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, friend. You won't be needing this anymore.
No, we won't, because we officially have 6 drinks in our side flask to our name, and it's incredible. Let's actually start getting rid of some of this stuff. So this side flask is actually not what I wanted to get rid of this thermos for. As you recall, this will only hold 2 drinks, and we'll actually find another thermos that could hold more. At which point I'll probably get rid of this since we don't need 12 drinks, but it might be a while before we find anything to infuse with. This is my water flask, essential because you gotta stay hydrated to avoid cramping. Yeah, I actually forgot that still stays in our inventory a little bit. And it does not contribute, well actually it's this one right here. It does not contribute that much to our composting. Maybe I'll go and eat this for the burst, because I think we'll be able to make it up. But otherwise, we are sitting quite pretty here. Let's keep on looking around, shall we? Because, if I'm not mistaken, did we talk to you? No, we didn't.
I don't think he fell on his pickaxe.
No. I'll have to warn the Crystal Guild next time I get the chance. The spider is encroaching on the veins worked by the viper, the salamander, and myself. His irate behavior and threats probably pushed my 2 colleagues to leave. I haven't seen them for a while. Well, I think we already did see the viper, and he was in that initial room with the pickaxe through his chest. And then we're next to the salamander, and this is the pipistrelli or whatever he was. So I think we're finished here. But as far as the lore implications are concerned, this is the pit where all of those statuettes were thrown into, right? So this is where they came to honor the dead, and they completely and utterly desecrated it. It's kind of crazy, actually, just how much thought went into tying this world together. I think I'm going to go in this direction. This seems like a slightly different path for us to take. Not entirely necessary, but still feels like a good idea to diversify our assets a little bit. Keep talking about it. But I love being able to take different paths up and down. And I feel like the path we took to come down is going to be a little bit harder on the return visit. So let's do this. I should have maybe taken another swig of drink. That will probably be all right. Can I reach? Yes, I can. That burst. I do love a good burst, man. This is actually kind of strange. How about this? Go on this side. Loop my arms. Oh, good. How about this? Will this work the way I think it will? Oh, yes. Moving up to that fault line, please. Oh, that's beautiful. And yeah, we could maybe go to the left here. That's already going to kind of intersect a little bit with where we already went. No, okay, that was just a light there. I was like, what is that object? It's not important. Oh, but I did run out of my grit and my grip. Alright, that's fine. We can finish this. Simple enough. But we can't be silly about it. No, sir. So actually, was there any other... Yeah, there's one right here, actually. I see you. Sometimes you just miss these little holds and you're like, well, I guess I can't make it this way. No, you gotta give yourself a little more faith. Oh, that's so good. And we'll just cross over here. And please don't consider this solid ground. Thank you. Oof. But yeah, this is the main reason why I would recommend going in this direction, by the way, is just to grab this lovely big flask. It will definitely come in handy if you put in Ultimate Infusion. It'll be the thing that gets you to the end if you make it at the right time. And so I have not beaten this game with it before, but I'm assuming it's probably just going to be as good as I would think it would be, especially considering all of our prior exploits. Man, should probably watch out for this. I think she's starting to get a little tired. Sure. Just do something like this. Yeah, this is still the same, like, main vault that we came down. Now we're fine. Just set that up right there. Go to the left a little bit. Or I could reach for this. You got it. There you go. Now we can go to the left a little bit. I am spatially conscious. And we're good. Look at that. Oh, beautiful work there, Ava. Well done. Whew. Okay. Well, I think that just about does it for everything down here. If there's anything else you might want from that prior room, you might want to go and grab that now, or maybe even before when we had dropped off that last crystal. But there's one room up there that we should probably go and investigate. And I'm not sure if it's necessary to go this way, but I think it leads to something semi-secretive. And I will want to make use of that soon. So from here, this is probably the next best point to use our Ultimate Infusion. I'm probably going to stock up a lot on this for our ascent along the outside, but just looking at the time, I don't know if I'll necessarily be able to get as far as I hope. So we'll see. But, you know, just for the road, I am going to go and grab this mushroom here. And we can always just finagle this and sneak it in there. Just so that I can have a little meal. Because it was a strong infusion mixed with mushrooms for the hunter's meal, right? So I wonder, does that mean, do you think, like, the spider would have different dialogue if you brought him some of that meal? Because that would be kind of an insane thing to do, at least in my opinion. There you go. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that this is the most effective way of leaving this godforsaken and terrifying room. One where many unthinkable, heinous acts of violence have occurred against fellow crystal cutters in the name of hubris and psychopathy. Now, Ava can take a page out of my book and dissociate from reality and the horrors of modern life in the way that I do. And we can just kind of go along with our day. Because no amount of therapy could possibly prepare her for this. And I don't think she's even necessarily seeking that at this point, but you know what else is new? Is this? Interesting. Okay. This must be the way. Yes, the Gerard way. Oh my God. So Sarah showed me a picture of Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, and he was with Trisha Paytas, of all people. And I gotta say, he has aged so gracefully for a rock star of the 2000s who happens to be cousins with one of the most famous podcasters of all time. And he's a very handsome gentleman. And there's this weird trend that I've noticed for people who were born in like the 80s. And that's just like, even if they might have struggled a bit with alcohol and climbing over this ledge, they are looking great these days. Talk about a silver fox, brother. So we made it up here, and if I'm not mistaken, is there going to be nothing for us here? Oh. Huh. Because I thought they might have left maybe a keepsake or something, but... Because I could have sworn we ended up with one of those sign letters, but if it's not down in the Wind Palace, like down below, and it's not here... Huh. I really hope I didn't miss it. It might also just be a New Game Plus type thing, you know.
Hey, Climbot. Pull me out if I get stuck, okay?
Oh, yeah. The lack of a response there is a little troubling, but that's all right. Welcome to Tomb Raider 2013. Good God, is that a blast from the past? I don't know if anybody who's watching this now even was around when I recorded that project. That must have been at least 10 years ago at this point. I never ended up finishing the other 2 games, but that was really fun. And there were a lot of very claustrophobic sections like this where you're just, going through crawl spaces and you run into dozens of decomposing corpses. There's nothing screams Tomb Raider than, Resident Evil and, cave spiders. I did happen to run into one of your kind on the side of a cliff not too long ago, and he still lives as far as I'm concerned, so I would hope y'all would extend the same courtesy to me should I find myself in a situation where I literally can't do anything to expedite this process. I can't change directions, and before you know it, I'm pretty sure there is a QuickTime event here, so get your analog sticks at the ready. Although I am curious to see what would happen if you fail this section. I'm not willing to do so on free solo mode, so all apologies. We'll just go through this still cave water and find ourselves at odds with something quite unusual.
Oh, shit! Oh, no! Fuck! Don't miss this time, Ava. Get moving. Come on! You gotta be kidding me. That was terrifying.
Girl, you are telling me. Good God. All of that for a non-cinematic sort of QuickTime event that we had nothing to do with. Oh, but we made it at long last. Yeah, that section had no reason to be that long. But we can fill everything up here, so long as we feel like it. And this is going to be our last reprieve before quite possibly the most daunting climb of our adventure. There is a lot of stuff in here. Oh my God. I should probably go and take like most of this, right? What do we have over here? Nice little place to bivouac. Unlimited still cave water, which is nice. Where else we can go from there? If you want some context as to where we currently are...
Finally outside. Oh, how I missed you, Sky.
It is night, and we are going to have to head on over here for that note, which is right there. So we'll just go as straight as we can, but this is where we got the bird egg. And you could just make your way up over here, but you wouldn't be able to crawl through that space. So that is a little distressing, but I was hoping to maybe... I should go back down for that plantain, shouldn't I? Because the plantain could at least help me get an infusion, but so far we don't really have much in terms of, gentian or juniper. Maybe we'll find some up here. But like I said, there are so many different ways for us to go, and we are going to be holding on to our jug here, so maybe we'll be fine without it for the time being. But this is probably the toughest climb in the game. And as far as our preparations are concerned, hello, I stand corrected. Okay, this is good. This pleases me. Let's go and take that with us, and we can start making some infusions, I would say. Cooling pot's got some good stuff. I'll take that. We'll give ourselves some nice fresh tape, and we'll hit it hard. I love how she just sets up wherever the hell she feels like it. Now, as far as these items are concerned, I guess I could probably go ahead and make some milk, because why not? Might not be a bad idea, because if this does what I think it will, we've got goat milk. All right, I was hoping that it'd be a little bit on the sweeter side, but it will quench our hunger and thirst, which, speaking of, maybe I can make some creamy mushrooms. Just for fun. And it is indeed. I do wish there was more variety, but don't eat those up now. And let's definitely go ahead and make this nettle infusion. Like I said, when we need to clear our inventory of all of our drinks, it only applies to inside our bag and not our side flask, thankfully. So this will be nice to have later. I'm assuming we'll find more herbs as we go up, but they are going to be a lot more sparse. I will still hold on to this just for, I don't know, nostalgia. I'm going to feel terrible about getting rid of all of these jugs. But man, oh man, it's going to feel good to just absolutely clear my inventory of all things that are unnecessary. So there is only, 5 climbing tape out of that, huh? That is not good. Okay, well, that's a bit unfortunate. I think we're actually looking okay as well. As long as there's still tape on most of our fingers, we should be all right. I'll just save it for, you know, chalk fodder. And let's go ahead and start making some hard decisions. So ataxium and chalk, you know, we are going to go ahead and just take a couple of drinks here. So there's 1, 2, 3. Well, I can't do a third, but what I can do is there we go, just stuff stuff in my bag. And this will get us, 5 minutes of temperature, which is completely useless right now, unfortunately. But maybe we'll save it. We'll save it for when we get a little bit higher. I think we're ready to try it. Ladies and gentlemen, the peril awaits, and I am moderately terrified about this because it is indeed one of the most challenging climbs in the entire game, and there are a lot of different ways for this to go terribly, terribly wrong, let alone the fact that we actually need to go out of our way to something quite terrible, and I don't like it. So we'll try this, and actually, will I make it if I just keep going along over here? Yeah, because I don't need to hold on to that for too long. See this? But I might actually need to veer down a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. I think it's that right there, yeah. I would almost say it might be safer to go down. But let me go over here. There's a very thin crack here. Surely that'll be safe. As long as it's not, pouring rain, you should be okay. Because the elements are going to be as important as ever to take into consideration here. One small slip and you're done. There is zero leniency on that front. And yeah, I do just want to keep on going over here. So beware. Probably doesn't help that we're doing this in the dead of night, where now it's start raining.
Too slippery.
No, it's not. Not that defeatist attitude. Oh man, climbing down though. I could have sworn there was a fault. Ah, shit. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I might. Oh man. I think I done goofed. Okay, if I had a pitten, this would have been easy money. Okay.
Almost there.
Yep, I'm working on it. Nope, we're fine. Don't worry, Ava. I got you. I'm telling you. Oh man. I may be a renegade. I may be a maverick, but damn it, do I get results. Oh, great. Oh, there's our pinwheel in action. Yeah, we're fine. I went way too far. That's okay. I might be able... Oh, yeah. Just absolutely break the physics of reality. Okay. We're fine. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. Now let's read. My friend, I'm growing weary. The weather conditions here are difficult. I can't even remember when we parted ways. The days are blending together in my head, and distant memories are less blurry than remembering what I ate yesterday. I remember you, then 13 years old, walking through the gate of the Bernardo orphanage. I remember your eyes, too. Piercing, having already seen and experienced so much despite your young age, and your love of books, especially those that recounted the great human epics. You who had no family name loved to memorize those whose exploits you admired. With you, I learned to be passionate about those stories too, spending hours in the library, dreaming of those snowy peaks trodden by the bravest, the articles on Cami, the Queen Mountain, the folly of following you on an unreasonable expedition when we came of age. But in the end, did we have anything better to do with our lives once we left the orphanage? Roberto, the poor fool who never stops climbing, alone with his ghost. Well, I have now unfortunately found myself in an even more compromised position, but let me see what direction they actually wanted me to go. Clear on over here. Oh man, this would have been so much safer. God damn. Alright, well, this is not the place to be careless, but we mustn't be reckless. And we'll just climb up this way, because this will take us right on back. Damn. Well, this is why we check our climbing routes as often as we can, so we don't make silly mistakes. Oh, you can reach it. Come on. Okay. Close enough. At least the weather wasn't like too terrible there either.
Is Arbor a mountaineer or an urban?
She scared herself out of that voice line. It's lovely. It's kind of weird that she said that here of all places. But this is about where we started, right? I would assume. So we are going to start wanting to veer right, basically as soon as we can. I think we want to get right up into where that white line was, in terms of so-called alleged difficulty. Because I do feel like some other sections of this climb are substantially more tricky than what is stated by the climbers. But it's very interesting that we probably don't see too much of those other characters who gave us this incredible map. But if I recall, actually, we are probably going to be in a position where we're going to be interrupted by another cutscene, similar to when we saw Marco. But trust me, we're not done with that guy just yet. But I think this is probably one of the saddest sections in the game, for reasons that will become fairly apparent once we watch it. Oh, great. Now it rains. And when it rains, it pours.
Oh, I could have been a decent cave painter, actually.
You think so? Do you have an ounce of, I don't know, artistic fortitude about you? There's always people who say that, and then they come up with some chat GPT drawings, you know? And it's not fun. I hate how that has just become like the normie thing nowadays. There's just people throwing it into a chat bar, and then they're like, look at this thing I made. No, you didn't make shit, brother. God, I cannot get over just how terrible just like artificially created works of quote-unquote art are. Just because it was generated doesn't mean it's art. Ah, shit. Is this right? We'll try this. I should have had a third drink. I'm already calling it now. Yeah, because I'm not going to be able to get to another place for ultimate infusion for a while. There we go. Ooh, this actually looks quite safe. Oh, is that? Oh, yes, thank you. One more. Come on. Ah, yes. I love seeing that much progress.
Oh, this is not the time. Stop beeping right now. Stop it! I need to focus!
Why, Abba? I keep asking myself that question. It's just stuck in my head. Why? Why did you leave? Why do you feel the need to climb that big, stupid rock? And why does it affect me so much? Capsule died 2 days ago. He was only 9 years old, can you believe it? He still had a nice life ahead of him. He spent his last night at the vet. You should have seen him in his cage, all skin and bones, drugged up. He could barely walk. But he recognized me, Ava, and he tried to snuggle up to me. When the time came, the vet asked me if I wanted to leave the room. Why would I let him go alone? I stayed, of course. And then, at the end, I held him against me. I told him I loved him. And his body, his little body collapsing into my arms. You can't forget that feeling. Anyway, once again, I am breaking your concentration, but I would love to know, Ava, why?
Ah! 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 She doesn't get it. She doesn't get any of it.